That used to be bigger. Check. 1, 2, 3. Check. 1, 2, 3. All right. We have audio. Hot dog. We have lemonade. Oh, that's good. We have YouTube vMix Social not working today. So that is a capture of the, thank you, John. Hello, John. That's a capture of a screen capture of my YouTube configuration page. So that is not vMix Social. For some reason, vMix Social would not log into YouTube today. It said it timed out. So maybe somebody with vMix has been bad and logged into something they shouldn't have. And so all of vMix has been slowed down. Don't know. Sorry for it. I didn't break it this time. Whoops. What is that noise? Hold on. We got noise here. Reseat the GPU. Okay, we'll do all that. In the meantime, let's mute that computer. There we go. Did that work? Try again. There we go. Yeah, I've got a PC that that somebody sent me to trial, and I'm always willing to test things and take a look at new products that we might possibly add to our store. And when it came in, one of the parts had come loose internally, so they were just giving me some suggestions on how to make sure it didn't come loose again, and maybe it wasn't packed properly and that kind of stuff. So yeah, that happens. Gunner's here. Welcome, glad to have you. So we've got Europe, we've got the Caribbean, we've got the U.S., and then Dave's out in California. I guess that's part of the U.S. Sorry about that, Dave. And we've got just a few minutes left before the show starts. Really excited. Today's show is going to be interesting. Part of it is, if you haven't already updated your vMix, you'll want to do that because vMix 25 updates are on sale from our website today. And that is 10% off at easternshorebroadcasting.com.
And now this is an update is different than an upgrade. An upgrade would be to move up a level from vMix HD to vMix 4K or vMix Pro. But an update is basically if your vMix HD, for example, is more than, I don't know, however old it is, then you have to update that license before you can get new updated versions like vMix 25. And when vMix hits a major version like 25, that's always a good time to make an update if you haven't already. There is a link, and I'll put it in the chat here. Let me see if I can do this quickly. There's a link, and it's just something on the vMix page. No, it isn't on the vMix page. Where do you find it? I was going to say it's on the vMix front page, but I don't see it there. Come on, Tom. Free update, LiveLAN, output, input, categories galore. Upgrades page. That doesn't do it. Let's just Google it. So this is going to be vMix update, not upgrade. Okay, there's something that says the vMix update tool. Well, oh, there it is. That's an article. Check if your license log into your vMix account. Yeah, well, I don't want to do that. Well, I sent somebody else the link because it's much easier to do it that way. Well, I'll keep searching. Sorry that this took up the whole page. That wasn't. Ooh, yeah. Not only did it take up the whole page, it killed the chat. There we go. There's the chat back. All right. So we can't do that from this browser, but we can do it from this browser. One sec. Let's see if we can look that up again. So it's going to be vMix update tool. We'll try that. Click on this link to open the vMix update tool. Huh. Well, yeah, I guess since I can't find that link, we'll have to do it the old-fashioned way. The old-fashioned way would be to go to vmix.com in the top right-hand corner, click the Accounts button, and then use either your email address or your license key and log into your account and see if you qualify for an update. But there's a direct link to an update checker. I sent it to Alan Bunt the other day. Let's see if I've got it here on my email. Al Bunt. Come on, Tom. You're smarter than this. That's debatable, but yeah. Oh, there it is. Okay, so how can I get it from there to there? I guess I could type it. Let's type it in. Let's type it in a browser and see if it works, and then I'll cut and paste it. Sorry for being so wacky. So this is account.vmix.com/upgrade-check. Let's see if that works. Account.vmix.com/upgrade-check. .aspx. Will that work? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So that is, we'll copy that. We'll put that in chat. There we go. That is the link right there to check and see if your version, your license key on vMix can get a free update, or if you want to update, you have to buy the update. So yeah, so there we go. So that's that. That's that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. John says he was not eligible. Well, John, today is your lucky day, your blessed day, whatever. Today, vMix updates are on sale. That's right, they're on sale. Can we do this again? Let's see, where is updates on sale? Right here. Sale, how about that? So all you have to do is go to Eastern Shore Broadcasting. We ought to have a URL for that. And go to the store in that part of Eastern Shore Broadcasting. And let's put the link in the chat. And you can go just directly there and buy it. Most people forget to send me their current license number. Because otherwise, how am I going to know which license to update? All right, so here is the URL. There we go. And let's make that a QR code. Can we do that? Are we smart enough to do that? Title editor. Yes, we are smart enough to do that. Oh my gosh. This is just awesome. Let's save this. I like the new vMix 25 save function because you can just click save and it saves it to the same name. You don't have to go through that nonsense of having to confirm the name or anything like that. Or you can do a save as, which is different and allows you to change the name. Or if you just open vMix and then you said, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Then you say, all right, I'll close it. You click on the X and it closes without a confirmation. That's good. Oh, John said he already paid for the update. Oh, you could have got it on sale, John. That's okay. That's all right. Not a problem. All right, we got another minute and such here. We've also got some goodies that we're going to talk about today. We've got this, and we've got this, and we've got this. And these are part of the giveaways for the vMix Fun Time, for the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB. It's just like da-da-da-da-da-da, and I just get on the wrong train, and before you know it, it's all done. So yeah, the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB will be on Monday, April 25th, I think. Let's confirm the date. Yep, Monday, April 25th, which is the second day of the NAB trade show. So the idea is now we'll have the, I was going to call it the Fun Time Live Show again. We'll have the Streaming Idiots meet up at Scott Whitney's new studio, the new Podwork studio there in Las Vegas, so that everybody can come and take a look at his new studio, and we'll have all the details on that shortly. And David Edwards says, working with a couple of new toys, NDI Telestrator and Audio Sidechain Script All right. All right. Podwork Studio is not, I don't think it's at the same location. I do not. That's, to the best of my knowledge, I don't think it's the same location. But I'll confirm that with Scott. And we'll have plenty of time to make sure everybody knows where it is. But I don't, even though Google says it hadn't moved, I think it's moved. But, I don't know. All right, let's hit the pink button and get this show on the road. Well, there you go. Despite your best efforts, things work. Hey, I'm Tom Sinclair. This is, ta-da! Actually, we have a button for that. This is Streaming Idiots. You've arrived at the end of the internet. There is nowhere to go except over the edge from here. That means you've watched everything else that's capable of being watched. No, the idea is that this show is for folks that do live streaming and eventually hit that, what's the best way to describe it? You screw up. You forget to hit record. You forget to plug in the camera. You cut to the wrong shot 10 times in one show. Yeah, I get it. You're an idiot. Welcome to the gang. The idea is that we can talk about things about that together and laugh about them and make fun of ourselves and grow and learn together. And we can do all the things that we're not supposed to do on this show so that you can see what happens when you do things you're not supposed to do. For example, when vMix released version 25 in beta, what was it, 6 weeks, 8 weeks ago, 10 weeks ago, something like that, they said very clearly, do not use this for broadcasting. Do not use this for your productions. What's the first thing I'm going to do? That's right. I'm going to use it for my production. So when vMix 25 came out, I think the release that they had for us, what was it? It was probably like vMix 25.0.0.20 or 18 or something like that. And they're up to .24 now, which is the current version and the released version. So if you've never had vMix before, if you download it and install it, you'll get version 25.0.0.24, hence referred to as .24. And if you already have vMix, if you already have a current license to vMix, you can download version 25. But if your license is too old, version 25 will say, sorry, doesn't work. You're going to have to update, not upgrade, update. Upgrade would be to like have a facelift. Update would be just like to get a good night's sleep. So we're going to do an update. It's $60. You can get them from vMix or you can get them from us here at Eastern Shore Broadcasting. In fact, if you go to that QR code right there, you get a 10% discount. Yes, I know it's only $6, but $6 will buy you, a hamburger, a cup of coffee. If you have to update 10 licenses, suddenly that's some money. So that's it. Or you can go to our website, easternshorebroadcasting.com, go to our store, and go to the vMix update section and get your update there. It is the deal. So if you don't know, okay, let's set this up. Come on, let's set this up. If you don't know, let's add an input. It's going to be a web browser input, and we'll just make it vmix.com. Will it take that? Sure, it'll take that. Okay. So here is the vMix website. Let's take my lower third off. If you go into the vMix website and you click, see right up here in the top right-hand corner, that button that keeps changing colors, vMix account. If you'll go to that button and you can put in either your registration key, well, let's enable my keyboard, there we go, or your email address, it will take you to your registration page, and it'll tell you whether or not your vMix will take an update. Will it take an update without actually having to go through and buy a new update? Now let's go back into this browser thing, and I am going to copy back. One second, let me do it here. Let's see, where are we? Let me copy back the URL. It'll take me just a second to find it. Yeah, there we go. There's a URL. So let's copy this URL. And if you're watching us on YouTube, by the way, I posted this URL in the chat just a few minutes ago. Charles, City of Daytona Beach. All right. Good to see you. Glad to have you. I was thinking about you just yesterday. I'm heading off to do another stadium next week. Let's see. Where do we want to go? We want to go to vMix. We want to change this input. Bear with me just one second. The new URL is going to be it's going to be account.vmix.com/upgrade-check.aspx. And that will take you to this. So in this case, you can put in your registration key and check the status. And it says invalid key because I just put in a bunch of junk. And that's how you can check and see if your registration key needs an update or not. Now again, an update, welcome Bayview support. An update is simply the ability to update your vMix license to go from version 21 to version 25 or version 22 to 25, something like that. It doesn't take you up the ladder from HD to 4K or HD to Pro or anything like that. That would be an upgrade as opposed to an update. So an update gives you version 25 and all the latest, greatest features of version 25, plus any changes that are made to version 25, bug fixes based on bug reports, and any other improvements that vMix decides to make for the next year. So an update is good for a year. Now, vMix has said, let's see if I can go back to it somewhere. Let's just go to vMix. Bear with me one second. I want to get all this stuff set if I possibly can. Username is invalid. Oh, no wonder. Yeah. Let's take this registration key right here. Bear with me. Bear with me. Can't show you the registration key or I'd have to burn it. All right, let's log in with this registration key, and the key is restricted to logging in with email address only. Oh, okay. Well, that was smart. Wonder who thought that up. Bad password. Let's try again. Doggone it. Bad password again. Should know my own passwords. One last try and then we're giving up. Well, we're giving up. Sorry, I can't tell you. But the idea is, well, let's try one more thing. Can we do it this way? Nope. All right. The idea is that you can go in, if you log into your account, like we just showed you on this one right here. If you log into your account, then you can find out whether or not your vMix is eligible for an update. And so, yeah, so that's what we want to know. Are you eligible for an update? So we all want to know that. We all want to know, are you eligible for an update? Because if you're eligible for an update, then it's just a simple download. You don't have to do anything specific to get to that point. But if you're not eligible, then yeah, sorry about that. It's going to cost you, well, it'll cost you $60 unless you get it here. It is $54. I've had some other folks ask me, yeah, we're going to do a sale on the update. Yeah, I know it's only $6, but hey, it's $6. We're going to do a sale on the update from today to next Wednesday. The next vMix, the next Streaming Idiots show next Wednesday. So there we go. All right, so Eric's here. We can get going. Good to know. Hello, Ed. Glad you're here. All right. Coming up on April 25th, we have got, wrong one, but that's all right. April 25th is a Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB. It's going to happen not on the floor of NAB like the last time we did it in 2019. Holy cow, that was forever ago. But it will be, hello, Tommy. Glad you're here. It will be at Scott Whitney's Podwork Studio, the new Podwork Studio, which I understand is in a different location. So if you're coming, I'll make sure you get the right address. But the prizes for the show, everybody's going to get something. Yeah, everybody's going to get something. But there are going to be some door prizes, and I've already got some of them here. Let's see. The very first one comes, at least it came to me, in an unmarked box. An unmarked box. And in it is a nondescript envelope. And in this nondescript envelope is, the envelope please, this device will take SDI and convert it to USB. Excuse me, let me rephrase that. You can plug this into your PC or your laptop, USB, and it will output SDI or HDMI as if it were a second monitor. So if you don't have a second monitor, or if you need a second monitor, if you're in a place where you need a second monitor, this is the bomb. And this comes to us courtesy of US Broadcast. And I haven't tested it yet. I can't wait to test it. We're not going to test it today, but we're going to test it later after today. And so for those of you that are in that situation where you need an SDI output, that's going to be the bomb for you right there. All right, so let's get that out of the way. And it comes with all sorts of goodies. It comes with a little thumb drive with drivers and a USB cable. All right, let's go to this one next. This box says SDI on it. SDI, why does it say SDI on it? It is the Atom 500 SDI from Vaxis Global, V-A-X-I-S, Vaxis Global. And you say, okay, Tom, that's great, but what is it? What does it do? It is a pair of, well, it comes with nice instructions that are actually in English as well as in, I guess it is Chinese. Don't know. Looks like the English is actually been written by an English speaker. That's always nice. Yeah, so we've got the manual. And we've got, let's see here in the box. It comes with a little foam to cover it. And then we have two radios, a sender and a receiver, essentially. So let's see. This is going to be SDI in and HDMI in. So this is going to be the part that mounts at the camera. And it has a camera mount on the back. Excuse me, check that. It has a battery mount on the back. So you can mount, I think it's, is it an MP67? I'll double check. Yeah, there's the eject button right there for the battery mount. And then it also has an on-off switch and a 1/4-20 mount there and a 1/4-20 mount there. This top black part is where the antennas are. And then on this side, it is a USB input, which could also be for power, HDMI in from your camera, or SDI in from your camera, either or. And yeah, and so that would be on the camera end. And it is the Atom 500. This particular one is the SDI-TX, which is the transmit. Can anybody guess why it says 500? Adam 500? Anybody think that 500 is specifically important? Let's see, what else do we have in the box while you're thinking about that? It has a USB cable, and it has the receiver. And the receiver also has battery mount on it, also has on-off switch, also has a quarter 20 and a quarter 20, and then has SDI out and HDMI out. And ta-da, on the front side, it has a digital readout and then the ability to make settings. Now, we haven't tested this yet, so we don't know what the settings are, but I can't wait to test it. So, yeah, this is going to be really cool. So the 500 is the range. David Edwards got that right. 500 feet, not meters, not yards. It's feet. David says that it has been tested, or some people have demonstrated 1,000 feet. The key is unobstructed line of sight. So the test that I was going to do here would involve putting it here in my studio and then putting it outside the door or maybe down the street and seeing just how far and how many different obstacles that I could go through before it just lost a signal. This little guy retails for $500, and if you come to the Streaming Idiots meetup April 25th at Scott Whitney's Podwork Studio, they're co-hosting the event, you could win this and go home with it for free. Okay, and the next thing, and we'll have more, but this is just the stuff that showed up in this week's mail, is from RGB Link. It is the Teo 1 Pro. It is a recorder, switcher, streamer, all in one. So let's open it up and see. I haven't opened any of this stuff up. This just arrived. So I thought, you can share the joy. All right, nice little sleeve. And gives us a box. So we're going to open the box. Or maybe we'll turn it upside down. Do we dare do it that way? Let's turn it upside down and see if it'll just fall right out in our hands. Don't think it wants to for some reason. Let's try this way and make it. Oh, there we go. We were just caught. So let's try it like this. Ta-da! Oh, there's something in this end of the box. It is a piece of foam, so we're not going to pull that out. And then we're left with this part of the box. And in this section right here, we have a box inside of a box. And inside of this inside box is some plastic, which I guess is some cushioning material, and what looks like a quarter 20 mount with some rubber washers, a USB-C to USB-C cable, a short one, and a power brick that's got USB-C on the end of it. Okay, so we got all that. We're getting to the good stuff. Haven't seen any documentation yet. Ah, here's the documentation. So the documentation is this nice little book that says, download the user guide. And it gives you a link. In fact, it gives you a QR code. So you can download it with the QR code and get connected. And it tells me a list of what's in the box. And it basically, on the back, it says, about us, get support, et cetera, et cetera. All right, now let's get to the good stuff. All right, so nice. This is a nice heavy-duty plastic bag. Normally, you don't see bags that are this heavy-duty. And what we've got here, I think it's got a film over the top of it. I'm not going to take that off. This is a monitor, but it's also a switcher. So for example, you can see here, it's got two HDMI inputs and an HDMI output, whoops, right there. Over here, it has two USBs ports, a 1/4-20, and then a USB port that says record. That's pretty cool. And then over here, it has Ethernet, audio, and USB. That was going to be for power, more likely. And then over here, it's got another 1/4-20 and a power button. And then on the back, it's got a dual battery mount for the, there's two different kinds. One is a PAN D548 and a bunch of other versions of that. And the other one is an SN, I guess PAN would be Panasonic and SN would be Sony, F550, and then some other numbers. So depending on what types of batteries you have in your battery bag, you would power it by one or more batteries. And then, oh yeah, those are just eject buttons. And so the concept with this little guy is that you can actually use it as a very quick and dirty switcher. So you can plug in your two HDMIs, you can plug in your USBs, you plug it into Ethernet, you plug in a mic. I think the audio is mic in and line out. So you can monitor it, get your mic in and monitor it on your end, and then be able to switch it on the screen. And I don't have again, I'm just opening it up out of the box. I'm not equipped to try to fire it up, although we may try to do that next week on next week's show after I've had a chance to play with this just a little bit. I mean, the last thing I want is to show you guys something really cool and new like this and look like an idiot as I'm showing it to you. So we're not going to do that today. But this could be yours if you are the lucky winner at the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB. So hat tip to the good folks at US Broadcast for donating all of this cool gear. And, you know, I shouldn't have told you that it was available for you. I should have just kept it for myself. Oh, well. I guess I could still do that and swear you to secrecy. All right, so let's put all that stuff back in its box. Put the box back in the box. And put that box back in the sleeve. And put it in our bag of goodies to take with us to NAB. We also have pledges from PTZ Optics for some webcams, bunches of webcams. Paul wants to give away some of his new books. The folks at X Keys, Maggie and her gang, are going to give away some X Keys, and I think they'll all be there to help with the giveaway. So you'll get, if you haven't gotten to meet Tess or the gang at PTC Optics, or Maggie at the gang at X Keys, or Eric and the gang at US Broadcast, it'll be a great chance to meet some of those folks and talk with them about some of the gear that you've either already own or would like to own. And it might be a little bit more, I won't say personal time, but a little more relaxed time than on the floor of the trade show. But it'll be a lot of fun. Let's see. Hold on. We've got a post from Tommy Willis that I had to approve because it used the word idiot. Apparently YouTube doesn't want you to call somebody an idiot, so they put it on there. Oh well, that's okay. So we've got the USB SDI monitor. We've got the Atom 500, and we've got the toe. Thank you, Edwards. David Edwards has given me the pronunciation on that. The toe multi-link. No. Is a RGB link. But the recorder, switcher, streamer. There you go. So that's pretty cool, and that would fit in your backpack with tons of room left. So yeah. So the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB will be April 25th, which is a Monday, which will be the second day of the NAB show. So this year, actually they were going to do it 2 years ago, but this year the NAB show starts on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you will want to come and stay as long as you want. Yeah, Ed Horn says I should give away the keys to a new car. Just the keys, not the car. That's a good one. David Edwards says not toe. Towel. Towel like in towel. Okay, got it. Towel. T-A-O, towel. Got it. All right. The NAB show will be a little different for some people this year. Number one, it's going to be a little smaller because there just won't be as many people attending, and I don't think there's as many. A significant number of vendors will not be attending. I think a lot of folks from Asia, the Far East, for some reason, COVID kind of stuff probably won't be able to make it. I know the folks coming from Australia will be kind of limited in their ability to kind of be out and about because when they come back to the country, they have to quarantine if they've been in certain circumstances overseas. So they don't want to do that. So there we go. Towel like Mao. That's right. There you go. Good job, David. The opportunities to meet folks, I think, will still be good. I'm planning on. I'm not going to be working at the vMix booth this year, partially due to the COVID protocols that the vMix folks are under. They just want to limit their exposure as much as they can, and I'm just a festering ball of virus and germs. That was awful. But so I'll be around. Certainly be at the vMix booth some. I'll be at the PTZ Optics booth some. I'll be at the Bird Dog booth, at the X Keys booth, at the US Broadcast booth, and others as well. We will just have to see how Ed Horn is just like, ew, yeah, really. We'll have to see, what attracts my interest, and we may do a morning, breakfast meetup, something kind of informal there in one of the cafeterias. So if you're not already a member of the Streaming Idiots group on Facebook, you'll want to join that so that you can keep up with the latest, greatest. I know. Last announcement. We are offering our vMix 101 class. Let me pull up a calendar here. And that is going to start on March 30th. So if you purchased a PC from us and got the free class, we'll be sending you something by email. We will be updating our website. And if you'd like to join the class is $199. It's a 6-week class, 2 hours each session on Tuesdays, starting on the 30th. So it'll go the 30th. No, I take that back. I think it's going to start April 6th. That's right. And go for 3 weeks, 6th, 13th, and 20th. Then we'll take off the Wednesday for NAB and then continue back in May, the 4th, 11th, and 18th. So it'll be 7 weeks in total, but 1 week off for NAB in the middle. Really is a good head-to-toe, kind of beginning to end overview of the vMix software, how to use it, how to get the most out of it. We find that even folks that have been using vMix for a few years do benefit from taking the class because they find out the things that they never tried to go figure out before. They learned, well, we're all like this. We learn what we have to do, what we have to learn to get done what we need to get done. And so there's not always time or the impetus to venture outside of that. The vMix 101 class is a great opportunity for you to broaden your knowledge of vMix. Now, if you've taken the class before in the past as an alum, you have the opportunity to take it again. You just need to shoot me an email and say, Tom, I want in. And I'll send you a special link where you can sign up. So yeah, there you go. And I have a list of people that have attended the class before. So don't send me, Tom, I want in. I'm an alumni. I took the class back in 2003. No, you didn't, because we didn't have it back in 2003. Anyway, we'll have some more on that next week. So with that, Kenny's here. Hello, Kenny. Glad to have you. We're going to flip over into the post show, and I'll be right back. That was a new transition in version 25 called Roller Door. I will never, ever use it again. No, I don't know. Maybe not. Welcome, Kenny Hampton. Glad you're here. Let's see. Who might I have missed on the way in? I don't see anybody else that I missed. If you missed out on the link, let me see if I can find it again and post it again. This is the link to the vMix update that is on sale in our store. And this is the link I'm posting in the chat to the update, the update checkout, the update check. It says upgrade check, but really it's an update check. It wants to see if you've got the ability to update to version 25 for free. If not, you can get it in our store for 10% off. The advantage of being up to date is you get the latest version of vMix and you get any other bug fixes. And you get the ongoing behind the scenes continued tweaking and improvement of vMix. I know, seat of the pants, that vMix is faster and runs more smoothly and can do more now with the same CPU and system than it could, say, maybe 5 years ago. There are things I can do today on really small, like i3s. I've got a 10-year-old PC that I run this stuff on just for testing, just to kind of see, where we are. And the vMix runs better and better each time. Now, part of it could be improvements in Windows, could be improvements in drivers, all that other stuff folds in too. But I think the vMix guys are constantly looking for ways to improve the function of the software. I don't think they're particularly enamored with the idea of improving the look of the software, just the function. Yes. Okay, so let's see. Let me zoom back down here. So anyway, really excited about the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB. Got some really great prizes. Kenny, you weren't here, but I've got a pair of radios, 500-foot radios. The Atom 500 mounts on a camera, allows you to transmit the camera signal back to the base, to the receiver, which would plug into your PC, either HDMI or SDI. SDI or HDMI on either end. So you could have I think I have to test it. I don't know if you can have an HDMI camera going into an SDI connection or not. Have to check that. Don't know. Also have a little hand-sized switcher that you plug in the internet, plug in a couple of cameras, shows on your screen, and you can switch cameras and live stream and record. So it'd be pretty good for folks that need something quick and dirty. And what was the, oh, and then we've got a, for folks, especially folks with a laptop or even with a desktop, and you need an SDI output to a monitor or to something else. There's a little converter that will do SDI output via USB. How about that? That's pretty cool. So, oh, Ed is so sweet. He thinks a $4 discount on vMix is a good reason to give a thumbs up right now. Well, the real beauty of the thumbs up, thank you, Ed, I appreciate that. The check is in the mail. The real beauty of the thumbs up from my perspective as a content provider is the more thumbs up I get, or the more thumbs up the video gets, the more Facebook thinks this is really important, good stuff. And thinks you might enjoy it, or people like you might enjoy it because you enjoyed it. And it improves the recognition, out there. So I always like a thumbs up. Thank you. I'll grovel if I need to. Clint's here. Clint, give me a thumbs up. Come on. Give me a thumbs up. AFS Consultants, give me a thumbs up. Come on, Tom Willis, give me a thumbs up. If you thumbed me up last week, thumb me up again this time. Thank you very much. All right. Chris Bronson says, oh, good question. In my opinion, how much scale down will NAB be in 2022? I guess that's what he's asking. Thank you, AFS. Yes. I think it's going to be probably 2/3 of what it was in the past. The question will be, thank you, Tommy. The question will be, what will be missing? If you've ever been to NAB, the first time I went to NAB, I was just astounded. I was overwhelmed. It was giant rooms that were, 3 or 4 football fields that were just full of stuff. And it was room after room after room, or so it seemed, more than I could digest. And I had a friend that would walk me around and say, okay, this is the Central Hall. This is the North Hall. This is the South Hall. This is the Lower South Hall. This is the Upper South Hall. This is blah, blah, blah. And it was just by the time I was done. But in the live streaming world, I would kind of divide it up. I have 3 categories. I have people that I know and love, vMix, X Keys, PTC Optics, Bird Dog, US Broadcast and their products. If I've left you off the list, my apologies. Those are known quantities. I'm going to visit those booths probably as much for the people that are there as I am for the products that are there. The second is going to be products that maybe I use, like Blackmagic, for example, but I don't really have any connection to Blackmagic, no personal connection, anything like that. But I want to go see, what's going on, what's done. Thank you, Bayview Support. Appreciate the thumbs up. Wade Ford. Wade was over here the other day picking up some goodies. Wade, I have had some more come in that you might be interested in. I'm just teasing. I'm teasing. Did I send? I think I sent Quentin that invoice. Anyway, I'll double check. So the idea is I'm going to take people like Blackmagic, whose products I use, but I don't really have any relationships with, and I want to see what else is coming, what they'll tell me about what's coming down the pike. For example, several years ago, they took their Blackmagic DeckLink Duo card, which was 2 SDI inputs, 2 SDI outputs, and they, through the magic of drivers and who knows what else, they made it a 4 in, 4 out card. Or maybe it's 2 out, but anyway, they essentially gave you 4 inputs in the same card, the same format, and called it the DeckLink Duo 2. They did the same thing with their quad, which was 4 in, 4 out. They made it an 8 input, which is a good deal. And so I want to see, what else is on the line like that. Because as somebody that builds PCs, and I use capture cards, and there's certain situations where we've got to have certain types of abilities. And then the third category is people I don't know. The people I do know and I know well, the products I use, and then what else is out there? That Taiwanese company that's bringing something to market that in 5 years is going to be owned by Black Magic, because they have to have it, or something similar to that. I want to see kind of what's coming down the pike. Things like the Tau 1 Pro that we're going to be giving away at the Streaming Idiots meetup at NAB, which is a recorder switcher streamer, all in one little box. This probably came out, or would have come out, at NAB 2020. Maybe it was there at NAB 2019 and I didn't see it. But the idea would be that's, you want to see these kind of, cool little gadgets that maybe they're not even ready for shipping, but people are trying to develop a market for. I remember the first time, what was it? I saw, maybe it was like 2016, maybe. I saw the Mevo for the first time. And I thought, that really looks pretty cool. And then I got one and it was kind of like, okay, it looked cooler than it really is. So there's that. Yeah, there's that. All right, let's see. Clint gave me a thumbs up just as I was asking. Thank you, Clint. Clint, are you going to be at NAB this year? Ed, I noticed an install YouTube app in my Chrome browser. Is there any benefit of using the app? Well, maybe it means that the YouTube people can see what you're using your Chrome browser for. Although it's all Google now, isn't it? Tommy says, where do you think live streaming is now? Beginning the upward curve or at the top of the curve? Tommy, that's a great question. Paul Richards asked me that same question probably 4 years ago. Paul Richards, the marketing manager with PTZ Optics. And, we were talking about the classic bell curve. The early adopters right here, and then, it gains acceptance, and then it begins to fade off, in the future. And I think, thank you, Chris, Clint's going to be in Disney World with his family and pass up a chance to meet me again. I'm teasing. Tommy, I still think we're on the upward rise. Because I still get calls from people that say, I want to live stream. I haven't ever done it. Now, they're not early adopters. We're way past the early adopters phase, but it's not like the market is a single strand and we're measuring that strand up and down. The market is getting broader and broader and broader as it matures, as more and more people and companies and entities embrace live streaming. One of my biggest clients right now is a holding company that owns a whole bunch of TV stations. And they want to equip their TV stations with a vMix, a heavy-duty vMix system as a backup in case their main system goes down, or in case they need to move to a different location quickly. They can move my gear much faster than they can move their studio gear. One of my other big customers is a company that develops video signboards for football stadiums, hockey and basketball arenas, and uses a system that we built for them to put replay on those giant boards. Those markets, people weren't thinking in those terms 5 years ago. And actually, neither one of those is traditional live streaming, but rather the live streaming gear is now being able to be, it's cross-marketed. It's multifunctional to begin with, and so we're just beginning to explore some of the other functions. I had somebody ask me this morning, Tom, can you propose a system that would allow us to stream over our own private local network? Well, vMix 25 has got LiveLAN, which is intended exactly for that. I can't wait to answer that email. The idea is that live streaming, or the gear to do live streaming, is a tool, and tools we can use lots of different ways. So, Tommy, that's a long way of answering your question, but I don't think we're at the maturity phase. I think we're at a new phase that, and maybe the people in marketing or product development can tell you what it is, but it's where the product or the market doesn't splinter, but it magnifies. Yep, that's what I think. Let's see. AFS says 2 buddies is a definite PITI. Yeah, it is, and I used to use it, and it was really helpful when I was paying attention to those kinds of things. I finally just gave up paying attention to how to optimize my YouTube account and said, we're going to do what we're going to do, and the chips are going to fall where they may. Yep. AFS says, I found vMix to have a steep learning curve. I would agree with that too. And I would also disagree with that. So, back before I used vMix, I was using another product called Vid Blaster. And when vMix came around, I'm a big one for not reading the manual. I just want to figure it out on my own. And vMix was not at all user-friendly for somebody that just wants to figure it out on its own. I mean, the buttons, what do these buttons mean? What does external mean? What does multi-quarter mean? What does settings do? What is preset? I mean, what is it? What add input? What's an input? I don't understand. And so I just booted it and put it on the shelf and didn't think anything about it until a client who had purchased one of our PCs, actually 2 of our PCs, said, yeah, we want to use vMix on it. Sell it to us, please, and teach us how to use it. So they were a good client, and I appreciate that. And so I said, okay, let's do that. And I approached vMix and said, I want to be a reseller. And they said, that's back when they would apparently take anybody as a reseller. And they said, sure, send us a bunch of money and we'll send you some licenses and you can get started. And I did. And once I forced myself to actually learn it and realized that I had to adjust the way I thought, it all opened up. And so there was that wonderful aha moment when I had gotten good enough at the software where I could understand, if that works that way, then this is going to work this way, and that's going to work that way. And it was intuitive after that. But until I got to that point, it was a steep learning curve. And there's some parts about vMix that I still don't get because I don't use. Yep. Clint says he's still planning on driving to Fairhope this spring, summer. Really? Oh, that's awesome. Make sure you let me know the date so I can make sure I'm around. Because I'm so busy, I've just got such a important calendar. David says, U.S. internet infrastructure is nowhere near where it needs to be to meet the streaming demand. Well, that may be true. And as strange as this may sound, David, but I think we really do have the porn industry to thank for the improvements that are going on in the internet infrastructure, because that's the biggest user of video, from what I can gather. And as odd as it says, for me as a Christian to say thank you to the porn industry, they have forced they've forced lots of technology changes, and in fact, they've probably piloted some technology changes. Their struggle is to upload video on demand and conserve bandwidth as much as possible, and conserve processing power internally as much as possible. And so they've probably got data centers that are light years ahead of some of us. Ed Horn says, I think the curve is like current day gold price charts up a bit, down a bit, and then up a bit more. Well, that may be true. Yeah, it will continue up because the younger kids need a keyboard to communicate with. Well, maybe text to type. Yeah, voice to text. True that, Tom. I love vMix 4. Trial by fire. There we go. Can't have the comments up because last time I checked, YouTube was not playing nice with vMix Social. Let's try that again, shall we? Let's just bring up YouTube Social and try to log in one more time. It wasn't accepting my login earlier. Even though I'm live streaming this via YouTube, it's just taking too long to connect. Something is amiss. Kevin Michael Reed is here. We can all go home now. No, I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Okay, let's give this a shot. We're trying to use vMix Social and log into YouTube, but for some reason on my end, it's not updating. Yeah, it bombed out. Can we turn it on? Nope, can't turn it on. Xavier says, coming from ATEM switchers, I didn't find vMix that hard to learn. It does depend on where you're coming from. That's true. If you're coming from Wirecast, vMix can be very difficult to learn. If you're coming from other things, it might be difficult to learn. If you're coming from TriCaster, I don't think it's particularly difficult to learn. Tommy says, really, do you have a link? I'm sorry, Tommy, you'll have to tell me what you need a link for, because I'm catching up. Bayview says, VidBlaster was easier to learn, but vMix opened up a lot more options for me. Preaching to the choir on that one. I agree. That was my path. KMR says, Comcast is running 7,000 feet of fiber to bring it to the building of my new studio. Just you? Wow. Thanks to me complaining. Wow, that's amazing. They're about to put fiber in my neighborhood, but I don't have it here at my studio. Yes. Peter's here from Berlin. Welcome, sir. Glad to have you. Clint says, compared to traditional broadcast switchers, I find vMix much simpler to program. Well, because traditional broadcast switchers were hardware devices. vMix is a software switcher. And so there's no limitation to software. I mean, other than the hardware. Peter says, vMix Social always bad for Facebook. It's Facebook API. Well, that's funny because I had no problems logging into Facebook today with vMix Social, but couldn't do it with YouTube. For some reason, I'm just not making a good connection. Oh, well. AFS consultants from Carmel, California. Carmel. All right, Hiroshi, I've been following you since you talked about VidBlaster. Oh, wow. You're an old man now. Then I also began using vMix. I love vMix so much. All right. AFS consultants totally wrecked vMix. There you go. KMR says, I'm the only person on the line, but they're hoping to onboard more customers now that it's in the neighborhood. Yes. I would agree with that. And Dave Edwards, I think TV was, Tom Willis was asking for the porn link. Tom, hey, shouldn't have brought it up. Bayview says, good to hear from a former VidBlaster MVP. There you go. That's right. I was an MVP. I forgot about that. Xavier says, do you know if vMix 25 not takes into consideration resizable bar when showing CPU use percentage? You know, that's a good question. I don't think it does. Am I using resizable bar here or not? I don't remember. I've got it. I don't think it's available in the 20 series, is it? Let me just check the driver real quick, because that's one of the things it'll say in the system check. System information, driver type, CUDA cores, no, So I've got a 2080 Ti, and I do not have resizable bars, so I guess it's a 30 only thing. So I can't test that here. Actually, I've got some 30 cards on the shelf. I could pop it in here just temporarily. Actually, I'm about to build a system, so I'll check. That's a good question. Peter says, if you have some 100 comments in Facebook, just 60 to 80 show up on vMix Social. I've heard that. And vMix blames it on Facebook, which may be why it is that way. Cliff Sobel has popped in the house, folks. Holy cow. Will you be manning a booth at NAB this year? No, I will not. I will not. vMix, the guys are trying to limit the number of people they come in contact with. Not sure how they're going to do that in a booth, but, I don't, maybe they've got a way planned out because they're concerned about getting back into Australia. The Australians have got just some weird, return policies, and they don't want to get quarantined for, 2 weeks or 2 months or something like that. So I am not going to be working the vMix booth, but I'll be around the vMix booth, along with the PTZ Optics booth and the X-Keys booth and the Bird Dog booth and the US Broadcast booth and others, plus the Streaming Idiots meetup Monday, April 25th at Scott Whitney's podcast studio. So if you're there Monday 25th, Cliff, you need to be at the Streaming Idiots meetup. Plus, we're going to do lunch or dinner or something like that. Hiroshi again. I am old and begun live streaming on Ustream in 2009 with VidBlaster. High five. Me too. Although I may have been 2008, but Ustream is what I used. Yes. David Edwards says, ignore the GPU mem with resizable bar enabled. Yeah, I'm sure they'll fix that at some point. It probably hasn't been a terribly high problem. Yep. Xavier says, no 3000 series and Ampri. Not sure what he means. AFS Consultant says, ha ha, me too. Xavier says, I know you did vMix 24, wasn't sure in 25. Yeah. Tommy Willis remembers the VidBlaster days also, and Cliff is slumming today. Well, David, that's not a very nice thing to say about Cliff. And AFS never joined Facebook. Cliff says, boo-hoo, how will the little people like us find you? Well, the show's smaller this year. I'll be wearing a blue shirt on some days and a red shirt on other days. So, nobody else will be wearing red or blue. But I was thinking, Cliff, this might be fun to have just a breakfast get together one morning. In one of the cafeterias, we'll just meet there and everybody buy their own breakfast and just hang out. So if you'd like to know about that, if you haven't already, other than AFS Consultants, that's not on Facebook, come join our Streaming Idiots group on Facebook so that you can stay up with all the latest times and changes and addresses and all that kind of stuff. All right, Xavier says he has an NDI 3000, NVIDIA 3000 series and Ampri series have resizable bar. Chris says the Australians may wander around NAB in inflatable bubbles. They may be triple masked. I don't know. Xavier says he's been using an A4000 in his new rig. Cool. How is that working for you? Is it doing everything you need it to do? David says, Cliff's a genius and we are idiots. Well, then he'd feel out of place with us, wouldn't he? Breakfast would be fun. Will Dave Edwards be there? I want to school him on slumming. I don't think this David Edwards is the same Dave Edwards, is it? Because Dave Edwards tuned in earlier as Dave Edwards. So we'll have to check. AFS Consultant, why don't you have Super Chat enabled? Super Chat, that's the one where people pay money. Yeah, don't need your money. Thank you. Thank you, though. Thank you. The costs for this show are underwritten by my company, Eastern Shore Broadcast, where we're vMix resellers, and we design and build PCs using vMix for all of our clients. We also sell and configure and bundle, Bird Dog gear and X Keys gear and PTZ Optics gear and lots of different gear from U.S. Broadcast, and it pays all the bills. So this is a marketing show, but yeah, we don't need your money. Thank you though. I'm very, very honored. Cliff said that would be fun. Okay, Clint says, is it too much to ask for daily Streaming Idiots report from NAB floor? I was thinking about that. Say a 5-minute synopsis of what you're seeing for us non-attendees. Yes, I would think. David Edwards says one and the same. Well, I wouldn't have treated David Edwards so nice if I'd known it was Dave. Just teasing Dave. Clint, I think that's a great idea. And my thought was to try to do it at least once a day, but probably just pop in, as I go to, some of my friends out there, pop in with Maggie and the gang at X Keys, and just talk about what's going on with X Keys, have Maggie and all that gang wave and talk to the camera, and then we'll go on to the next one. And we would probably stream it live to the vMix, to the Streaming Idiots group. And then we can probably post it on YouTube later. I don't think my phone can stream to both of those at the same time. And it all depends on the connection there in the hall as to maybe I just have to tape things and go find a good internet connection and upload them. Yeah. Dave says, when I hit the enter key, YouTube corrects the spelling. Well, they changed the spelling. They may not correct it. He was enjoying the incognition. Aha. And BlizzCoin may happen this year. Interesting. Not even sure. Kevin says, Tom, you're still using tape? Well, did I say tape? Maybe I meant record. Yeah. But you still hear people say live to tape. Just because it means what it means, not that we're actually using a reel of tape. Yeah. That's okay. Let's see, where are we? We need to go back to work. Yeah, I am way behind. And I'll tell you what, this is so exciting to me, but nobody has asked about my knee today. Thank you. Because my knee is getting to the point where I don't think about it either. Hallelujah. This past Monday was the 9th week anniversary of knee replacement. And I'm getting a little stiff sitting here, but I haven't had to put it up. And I've been walking without a cane since the 2nd week. Not always well, but better now. And I've been working really hard in physical therapy to get ready for NAB so that I can walk. Plus I'm on the road early next week and late next week. So I'll be flying to Wichita, Kansas and Charlottesville, Virginia. So I got to be ready for those airports, to run through the airports to catch my flight. So if any of you are out there considering a knee replacement because your knee is currently arthritic or wearing out or whatever, this whole process, Xavier has knee surgery tomorrow. Oh my gosh. The whole process for me was far less of everything than I expected. Less pain, less inconvenience, less annoyance, less everything. I mean, I was able to shower immediately. I didn't have to do anything. I mean, they said, "Oh yeah, wrap your knee up with Saran wrap," but I forgot to do that after a couple days, and it didn't matter because the bandage lasted 2 weeks, and I was amazed at that. Oh, you got a meniscus repair. Well, still, that they can scope that, and you won't have nearly the recovery process. Yeah. Ed says film is a chemical process, recording is an electrical process, yet we still refer to filming. Oh, yeah, for sure. We're going to be filming today. Are you filming? I'm filming. Well, anyway, 6 weeks, no weight bearing. Oh, really? Oh, wow. I was weight bearing like 6 hours afterwards. I mean, that was the thing. They wanted me up on it. But that's the difference of the repair. Yeah, you've got to give that area time to heal before you do anything with it. Yeah, 3 leg races. Well, I'm not running yet. So the race would have to be a fast walk, but it would be a good walk. Yep. Well, guys, thanks for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Always love it. Welcome to those of you that were joining us for the first time. If you think this content was valuable, and you're here at the very end, so obviously you do, and if you haven't already, would love it if you would give me a thumbs up, because that'll help this video kind of, appear above the surface that is the cauldron of all of YouTube videos. So there we go. The chat will still be active for a little bit. Great having you. Appreciate everything you do. And let's see if we can go out with an up. Is this, yeah, there we go. There we go. Roller door one more time.